So hopefully by now you've looked at the exercise before this one. Doesn't have a number, but it's talking about inline elements, and show you a brief sample on how inline elements work and where you can find reference for the lists of inline elements that are available. There's plenty of them. In this exercise, you'll use a few. It's going to be up to you to figure out which ones. Let's get started with just how the article is going to be set up in your pages. And by article, I don't mean just the tag here. This is actually a block element. We'll be talking about articles, etc. much later in the course. Maybe not much later, but later for sure. I can either try to copy all of this text like this, or I could tell it to view raw in another page. I'll right click and say open link in new window, and I get all the text. I'll click anywhere where there's no text and press Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and then I can go into my GitHub account where I'm already inside of my repository. And since I'm already here, I can simply travel to the directory where we're working currently. This is week 5. I'm going to create a new file by add file, create new file. We're going to be working on the bistro news. So I will call this one bistro n.html. Go on to the editor part of GitHub, and in the assignment we've already copied the text that we're going to be using, so I can simply press Control V as in Victor to paste it, and now I have the article code, the headers, etc., and this will display accordingly. Now you can choose to do all your work inside of GitHub, or if you would like, open up a code pen, and then that way we can just see what we're doing. I'll create the new pen, and in my HTML, press Control V as in Victor, and I still have that text from before. So low and slow, posted by BGB. It's got a date, and it's got some samples. It's got a address for email. It's got a phone number. It's got warnings, which maybe you want to emphasize somehow. It's got several things that are going to require an additional code. Consult on the pages indicated in the exercise. In this case, you probably want to go back and look at 88 and 89 to look at what some of the codes may be. I will not code them for you in this exercise, but well, I'll do one. I'll do this week I am extremely excited about a new cooking technique. Okay, so I am extremely excited. Sounds like that's something that could be emphasized. So let's do that. I'll scroll up in the code. This week I am extremely excited, and I'll do that right here. I'll say EM begins before extremely, and then after the word excited, we can close with open bracket /EM. That way, extremely excited is emphasized and the rest of it is not. So please, by all means, check out everything else. I'll tell you, though, which words I would recommend you look the codes for. Sous vide is French, so this will probably be in italics. At the same time, it's a definition of sorts because it's called that. There is a definition tag that you can use. That is repeated throughout, and every time you see a foreign term like that, you should italicize or emphasize. In this case, I would only italicize. I would also make sure that some of these spaces in between, go back and correct some things. So for example here, blackgoose@example.com, 555, etc., the phone number. These are supposed to be different lines. Make sure that you break up the lines. You don't have to add a new paragraph, just find how to break the space in between. Hint, hint, break. Also at the end, this warning is fine print, so there is a tag that you can find to use, and it will make the text smaller. So by all means, look at those things. There's not that many changes that you need to make. Before I forget, at the very beginning, I skipped it went right past it. It's posted by this person, but there is a time that is listed. There is a date. So you want to go and look at the tags that will allow you to specify time and date. Make sure that you get those as well. If I didn't mention anything that you did see, by all means, add it to your code. And once you're done, I mean, I'm already done with what I'm doing here, so I'm just going to select all of this text, Control A, Control C, go back to my new file that I'm working on, make sure that I am editing this file by, well, I'm already there, so I'm going to highlight all of that. I could have pressed Control A to select all as well, then press Control V as in Victor to paste, and it's already got the name bistro and.html. If you use a better name, by all means, I'll commit the new file so that it gets saved and published. The link in this new file, bistro n, I'm going to find it here in my directory. I will highlight it, right click it and copy it, and in eCampus, inside identifying inline elements. For assignment 5.2, I'll click, scroll down to assignment submission, write the submission, and since I just copied that link, I will paste it here with Control V. It's showing up right there. I did it twice, I just need it once. And there's the tag, and then if you would hit submit, it will get turned in and we can grade it for you. See you in the next exercise.